Have you ever had a small fall or bump that didn't seem like much at first, but then, days later, you're still sore, stiff, and wondering why it's taking so long to heal? Maybe you twisted an ankle while stepping off a curb, or strained your shoulder reaching for something on the top shelf. At one point in life, those things would have barely slowed us down. But now, the recovery feels different. Slower. A little more stubborn. And you're not alone in feeling that way. As we get older, our bodies take just a bit longer to bounce back. But here's the good news. There are powerful, natural ways to help the healing process along, ways that don't involve a cabinet full of pills or expensive supplements. One of the most effective tools? The food we eat. That's right, what you put on your plate can make a big difference in how quickly and completely your body heals. Whether you're dealing with a sprain, a bruise, a joint strain, or even recovering from surgery, the right foods can help reduce swelling, rebuild tissue, and restore strength. In this video, we're going to talk about the foods that support your body's recovery after injury. We'll look at how they work, what to eat more of, and how to make simple changes that can get you feeling better, faster. So if you've been wondering why that lingering ache won't go away, or if you just want to be ready the next time life throws a bump in the road, this is for you. Let's start with one of the most powerful things you can do for healing, and it might surprise you: eat more protein. Now, I know some folks think of protein as something only bodybuilders need. But the truth is, protein is just as important, if not more so, when you're recovering from an injury. Why? Because every time your body repairs damaged tissue, whether it's a bruised muscle or a torn ligament, it's rebuilding it from the ground up. And that building material? It comes from protein. Think of it like fixing a house after a storm. You can have all the tools in the world, but if you don't have any wood or bricks, there's not much you can rebuild. Protein is the brickwork of the body. And unfortunately, as we get older, our bodies don't process protein as efficiently. So we actually need a little more of it than we used to, especially when we're trying to heal. Now, you don't have to eat a steak every night, though if you enjoy one now and then, go for it. Eggs, chicken, fish, Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, beans, and even lentils are great sources. And if you like to snack, try a handful of almonds or a boiled egg between meals. The key is to have a little protein with every meal, even breakfast. A slice of toast with peanut butter or some scrambled eggs can do wonders. But protein's only part of the puzzle. Let's talk about something just as important, and that's anti-inflammatory foods. When you're hurt, your body naturally swells in the area. That swelling is part of the healing process, but when it sticks around too long, it can start to do more harm than good. It puts pressure on surrounding tissues, makes you stiff, and slows down your recovery. The goal is to help your body manage that swelling in a natural, healthy way. And the best tools for that? Foods rich in antioxidants and omega-3 fatty acids. Now, before that sounds too technical, let me put it simply. We're talking about colorful fruits and vegetables, and healthy fats from things like fish and nuts. If you're not already eating berries, blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, now's the time to start. They're full of compounds that fight inflammation and support your immune system. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and even arugula can also help. Don't worry if they're not your favorite. Try them mixed into a smoothie or sautéed with a little garlic and olive oil. Speaking of olive oil, switching from processed oils like vegetable or corn oil to extra virgin olive oil is a simple step that goes a long way. It has compounds that work like natural ibuprofen. Not quite as strong, of course, but when used regularly, it adds up. And let's not forget omega-3s, the kind of fat your body actually loves. Salmon is one of the best sources, and if you're not a fan of fish, a small daily dose of flaxseed or chia seeds can help too. Even walnuts pack a punch. These kinds of foods not only reduce swelling, but they also help improve circulation, which means oxygen and nutrients can get to the injured area more efficiently. That's a big deal. Because when your blood is flowing freely, your body can do its job a whole lot better. Now, while we're on the topic of blood flow and healing, there's one more thing we need to talk about before we move on, and that's vitamin C. It's not just for fighting off colds. In fact, vitamin C is essential for producing collagen, which is like the scaffolding your body uses to rebuild skin, tendons, ligaments, and blood vessels after an injury. So if you've got a slow-healing wound or a joint that's not quite bouncing back, you might want to ask yourself, am I getting enough vitamin C? Citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, and tangerines are obvious choices, but bell peppers, strawberries, and even broccoli are packed with it too. And here's a simple trick: try having some vitamin C-rich food alongside your protein. That combo can actually help your body absorb nutrients more effectively. So, next time you have grilled chicken, add a few slices of orange or some red pepper strips on the side. It's a small change, but it adds up. Now that we've talked about protein, anti-inflammatory foods, and vitamin C, we're building a strong foundation for faster healing and less swelling. But there's more we can do, because the foods you avoid are just as important as the ones you eat. See, it's not just about adding the good stuff, it's about cutting back on the things that quietly work against your recovery. And one of the biggest culprits? Refined sugar. Now, I know how comforting a cookie or a sweet cup of coffee can be, especially when you're stuck on the couch nursing a sore knee or recovering from a procedure. But here's the thing, refined sugar can fuel inflammation in the body. It's sneaky, it doesn't cause a big dramatic flare-up, but it creates a low, smoldering fire in your system. And that fire slows down healing. It's like trying to repair a leaky roof while someone's poking holes in it from the inside. You might be doing the right things with protein and veggies, but if you're flooding your body with added sugar, your recovery just drags on. Now, don't worry, I'm not saying you have to give up all sweets forever. Just be mindful. Try swapping out that afternoon cookie for a bowl of fruit with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Or, if you like something sweet after dinner, go for a square of dark chocolate, 70% or higher. It satisfies the craving without flooding your body with processed sugar. Another thing to keep an eye on? Highly processed foods, especially those with long ingredient lists and words you can't pronounce. Things like packaged snack cakes, frozen dinners loaded with sodium, or even some deli meats can cause more swelling in the body than you'd expect. Many of these items are full of preservatives and unhealthy fats that make inflammation worse, and that means slower healing. So, try to build most of your meals around whole foods, things that look like they did when they came from the earth. Think baked sweet potatoes, steamed broccoli, grilled fish, fresh fruit. You don't need to go on a fancy diet or count every calorie, just lean toward foods that are as close to their natural form as possible. Now, while we're talking about natural support for healing, there's another powerful nutrient that often flies under the radar: zinc. You might have heard of it for immune health, but zinc is also a key player when it comes to wound healing. It helps your body produce the enzymes and proteins it needs to repair tissue and fight off infections. If you've ever noticed a cut taking a little longer to close, or a bruise sticking around longer than it used to, it could be a sign that your zinc levels are a little low. Foods that are rich in zinc include pumpkin seeds, chickpeas, cashews, and lean meats like turkey or beef. Even a serving of oats in the morning can help. Zinc doesn't get as much attention as vitamins like C or D, but it's like the quiet helper behind the scenes, making sure everything's working as it should. And during recovery, having enough zinc can make a big difference in how quickly your body knits itself back together. Speaking of vitamins that help in subtle but powerful ways, let's take a moment to talk about vitamin D. This one's especially important as we get older, because many of us aren't getting enough of it, especially if we're indoors a lot or live in cooler climates. Vitamin D helps regulate inflammation and supports the immune system, both of which are essential when you're recovering from an injury. But here's the part most people don't realize: it also helps your body absorb calcium properly. And calcium is crucial for healing broken bones and keeping your bones strong in general. So if you've had a fracture, a joint replacement, or even just a hard fall that left you sore, making sure your vitamin D levels are up to par is one of the best things you can do. A little sunlight each day, 15 to 20 minutes on your skin, can give you a natural boost. But you can also get vitamin D from foods like fortified milk, eggs, and fatty fish like sardines or mackerel. Some folks may even need a supplement, especially during winter months, but it's always a good idea to check with your doctor before adding one. Now, all of this might sound like a lot to keep track of, but remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Think of your meals as little healing moments. Every time you sit down to eat, you have a chance to support your body. You don't have to be perfect, just be a little more intentional. Maybe that means choosing a baked salmon fillet instead of something fried, or having some fresh berries instead of a sugary dessert. Maybe it's just adding a handful of spinach to your soup, or a spoonful of flaxseed into your oatmeal. These little choices stack up. And here's the beautiful part. When you start eating this way regularly, not only does it help your injury heal faster, but it also supports your joints, your heart, your energy, even your mood. Food truly is medicine, and that medicine doesn't have to be bland or boring. Let's also not forget the role of hydration in recovery. I know, we hear drink more water all the time, but it's easy to overlook, especially when we're resting more and moving less. But water plays a huge role in flushing out toxins and delivering nutrients to the areas that need them. Think of it as the delivery system that keeps the healing train running smoothly. If your tissues are dry, it's like trying to build on cracked ground. But when you're well hydrated, everything softens, everything flows, and healing happens more easily. So aim for water throughout the day, even just small sips add up. If plain water isn't appealing, try herbal teas or water with a slice of lemon or cucumber. So far, we've focused on protein for tissue repair, anti-inflammatory foods, and vitamins for faster recovery, and we've looked at the importance of cutting out sugar and processed snacks, getting enough zinc, vitamin D, and keeping up with hydration. Your body is built to heal, but it heals best when we give it the support it needs. And when you're recovering, even from something as simple as a pulled muscle or a minor surgery, every bit of nourishment matters. Let's keep going, because there's one more piece of the puzzle we haven't talked about yet, and it's one that brings everything together. Gut health. Now, I know that might sound like a strange way to end a conversation about healing bones, muscles, and joints. But stay with me, because this is where the magic really happens. Your gut is where all those healing nutrients, the protein, the vitamins, the minerals, they all get absorbed. If your gut isn't functioning well, it's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much good stuff you eat, your body just won't get the full benefit. The truth is, as we get older, digestion slows down a bit. And many people unknowingly deal with issues like bloating, irregularity, or acid reflux that point to an imbalanced gut. This imbalance can actually lead to more inflammation and slower recovery after injuries. But when your gut is in good shape, it helps your entire body heal more efficiently, from the inside out. So what can you do to support your gut during recovery? One of the best things is to add more fiber-rich and fermented foods to your routine. Think of fiber as the gentle broom that sweeps your system clean. Whole fruits and vegetables, oats, lentils, and even a sprinkle of ground flaxseed can all help keep your digestion moving smoothly. Then, there are fermented foods. These are your gut's best friends. Yogurt with live cultures, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and even a little kombucha can introduce healthy bacteria into your digestive system. These good bacteria help your body absorb nutrients more efficiently, reduce inflammation, and even support your immune system. And here's something many people don't know. If you've taken antibiotics recently, maybe after a procedure or surgery, your gut could be out of balance without you even realizing it. Those medications are important when needed, but they can wipe out both the bad and the good bacteria in your gut. So rebuilding that healthy balance with probiotic-rich foods can be a real game changer. Another easy tip? Start your day with warm water and a squeeze of lemon. It's gentle on your system, helps stimulate digestion, and hydrates you first thing. It's such a small habit, but many people find it makes a big difference in how they feel and how well they heal. By now, you can probably see the bigger picture. Healing after an injury isn't just about rest and time. It's about how we support our body during that time. What we eat, what we avoid, how we stay hydrated, and how we care for our gut, all of these things work together. And the best part? These aren't just tips for recovering from one injury, they're habits that can support your body every single day. Whether you're healing from a fall, bouncing back from surgery, or just wanting to stay stronger as you age, these food choices give your body the tools it needs to thrive. Let's take a step back and look at what we've really covered. You've learned how important protein is for rebuilding tissue, how it's the foundation your body uses to repair muscles, tendons, and more. You've seen how anti-inflammatory foods like berries, leafy greens, olive oil, and omega-3s help calm swelling and speed up healing. You've learned that cutting back on sugar and processed foods isn't about punishment, it's about clearing the path for your body to recover more easily. You've discovered the powerful role of nutrients like vitamin C, zinc, and vitamin D, each one playing its own special part in reducing inflammation, building new tissue, and strengthening bones. And of course, you now know that staying hydrated and keeping your gut healthy are quiet heroes in the healing process, working behind the scenes to make sure everything flows smoothly. But here's the most important takeaway of all: your body still wants to heal. No matter your age, your body is always working to repair itself. Sometimes it just needs a little more support and a little more time. And that support doesn't have to come from anything fancy or complicated. It can come from your kitchen, your grocery store, your own table. So if you're sitting there right now, nursing a sore back or an aching knee, or recovering from something bigger like surgery, know this: you're not stuck. Healing might feel slow, but it's happening. And every meal, every sip of water, every small step you take in the right direction is helping. Even if you just choose one or two of these ideas to start with, adding a little more protein, drinking more water, swapping out that sugary snack for a handful of berries, you're making progress. That's how real, lasting change happens. Not overnight, but over time, with steady effort and a little patience. You've got this. You've made it through so much already, and your body has a quiet strength that's still with you. Keep listening to it. Keep supporting it. And trust that the healing is coming. If this video gave you something helpful or encouraging today, I'd love to hear from you. Share your story in the comments. What's helped you recover from an injury? Or what are you going to try from today's tips? We can all learn from each other, and your voice matters. And if you found this helpful, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this, practical, supportive, and focused on helping you feel your best at any age. Because you deserve to feel strong, capable, and full of life, not just in your 30s or 40s, but right now, right where you are. Here's to living your best life after 60, one healthy choice at a time. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next video.